Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Mr Speaker, politics is a matter of trust. And when the government boasts of its transparency and accountability, that is very apposite right now. And I'm reading a poll, which they haven't gotten, thank God we have, which says that the last spokesman's statements are utterly wrong and they're in trouble. I can't share it with them because it's confidential. But there it is. And it's all bad news for the backbench. The so-called Panama Papers is like the real-life embodiment of John Grisham's novel, The Firm. I know it's last week, it'll be next week and the week after, and the week after, and the week after, because this is a perfect storm, built from secrecy and deceit, and above all, the Prime Minister's arrogance. That is a new feature in his behaviour. Look, they have been so cocky that they decided to get a retread as the person who is going to investigate the wrongdoing that's been happening in this country's formerly good name. And they started off with IRD doing the job, and then they decided to get an international tax expert. Then all of a sudden, because the polls were coming in, you had the 46 years ago, exactly to this day, rerun of the comment, Houston, we have a problem. That was exactly 46 years ago today.
We have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem. And so he pulled out not the overseas tax expert, but a Wellingtonian who's travelled overseas to the Bahamas to advise him to do the exact thing that's happening here, and which saw the trusts foreign in this country treble under the financial money mover, Mr John Key, Prime Minister. So who is Mr Sherwin? Well, he was involved in the Westpac Bank Corporation disgrace of trying to, with the 3 other Aussie banks, dodge paying their tax in this country. He was their advisor. They settled out of court for $2.2 billion. Now imagine, yes, some advisor. Look, and then you've got the other cases, all the way to the Privy Council, the highest court that we got, in my view, all saying this man is no tax expert. But why is he being chosen? Not because he's the poacher turned gamekeeper. No, he's the poacher out to help poachers. Yeah. And he will not change. Mr Key, you see, couldn't get an independent expert because he cannot stand the sunlight of disclosure. And that's what this is all about. And you can run all the protection racket you like to try and protect the National Party now, but it won't work. And those of us who've got experience know just how long that can take. The good news is we've got months and months to dissect this series of disgusting, scandalous transactions where New Zealand is mentioned how many times? 60,000 times. I asked the Prime Minister, of the 70 state and governmental leaders around the world in the Panama Papers, is your name one of them? He gets up and answers, I'm not doing any transactions in Panama. Now, is that an answer to my question? No, it's not. Does he think that's going to be successful? No, it won't. Now, I know people like Mr Mitchell from the Rodney electorate and places like that. Oh, yeah, and the member for the Bay of Plenty. I know that they're smiling up there, but right now their knees are knocking somehow, big time, because I know reaching into the old National Party are about 1 in 3 voters who know this has got an acrid stench, which is sadly coming to the party that they thought would never behave like this. I've got news for them, and it's all bad. Very sad as well. Sadly, the new National Party, a bunch of Tea Party clones, will put up and say anything to defend their behaviour. They will say anything just to hold on to power. Unfortunately, the polls are now, and if you take the one on TV one the other night, it's a total waste of time. This poll says that the flag did make a massive dent. And this is before he was discovered dealing with a group of Chinese business people to try and change the flag outcome in New Zealand. Now, we've always knew he's in the pocket of the Chinese, but this is outrageous. This is outrageous. And also, it was before the Panama tapes, and my message to TVNZ is, for goodness sake, for the first time, go and get a reliable poll and stop misleading people.
The member's time has expired.